Nigeria's ethnic youth leaders have shifted the debate on the federal government's new tax regime from resistance to public engagement, announcing a series of regional consultations aimed at mobilizing young Nigerians to support full implementation of the reforms while pressing authorities for transparency and accountability. Speaking at a live press conference, leaders drawn from the Ariwa, Ohanes, Oduduwa, Middle Belt and South-South youth blocs said they would convene large youth gatherings in Kaduna on January 8, 2026, and in Aba, Abia State, on January 13, to explain the policy, address concerns and rally support for what they described as a difficult but necessary economic transition. This was revealed in a statement by Malam Kabiru Yusuf, joint convener of the Ethnic Youth Coalition. The consultations, to be held under the theme, "For the sake of national interest, we stand firmly with the implementation of the new tax regime," are expected to bring together youth leaders, entrepreneurs and community representatives from across the country. According to the organizers, the meetings are intended to move the conversation beyond social media criticism and street-level opposition by creating a platform for informed discussion on the scope and implications of the tax reforms, which take effect from January 1, 2026. The youth leaders acknowledged that the reforms would place pressure on individuals and businesses in the short term but argued that resisting them outright would undermine efforts to stabilize the economy and improve public services. The path to economic recovery is often demanding, but history has shown that nations that endure necessary reforms emerge stronger, they said, urging young Nigerians to see the policy as a collective investment in the country's future. They stressed that the reforms were designed with safeguards for vulnerable groups, noting that the new tax laws provide 50 exemptions and reliefs targeting low-income earners, average taxpayers, and small businesses. They recalled that President Bola Tinubu signed 4 tax reform bills into law on June 26, 2025, comprising the Nigeria Tax Act, 2025, the Nigeria Tax Administration Act, 2025, the Nigeria Revenue Service, Establishment, Act, 2025, and the Joint Revenue Board, Establishment, Act, 2025. According to the youth leaders, the laws represent a comprehensive overhaul of Nigeria's tax system aimed at boosting revenue generation, improving the business environment and strengthening tax administration across federal, state and local governments. From January 1, 2026, the federal government will begin implementing new tax laws that are meant to drive economic growth, increase revenue generation and enhance effective tax administration, they said. While pledging support for full implementation, the groups also warned that public buy-in would depend on how the policy is executed. They called on the federal government to demonstrate openness in revenue collection and spending, insisting that trust would only be sustained if citizens could see clear links between taxes paid and development outcomes. We are calling on the federal government to ensure transparency, fairness, and accountability in the implementation of the tax regime, as public trust would only be sustained if revenues generated are visibly channeled into development projects that directly impact citizens, the statement said. They further pledged to work with government agencies, civil society organizations and other stakeholders to monitor the rollout of the reforms, protect low-income earners and address unintended consequences. The leaders also used the occasion to appeal for national cohesion, urging Nigerians to rise above ethnic, religious and political divisions in confronting economic challenges. Economic progress can only be achieved when Nigerians work together with a shared sense of purpose and national interest, they said.